Hello everyone, this is Chris with Fischer Workshops, and in today's video I just wanted to show you some ideas I hope that can give you some inspiration about how you can utilize different styles of conchos with your product. And for this I'm going to be using my latest project, which is this hip bag here. And what really sets it off is obviously the original hip bag that I didn't have any conchos on the belt loops. And these belt loops here, I've fixed two flower-like conchos. These are made out of silver bronze. These are handmade by an artist here in the United States. And the same with these up here. So most of the conchos I'm showing you today are from Jeremiah Watt. He's an artist locally here that I just like his work. I like the way it looks, especially like the silver bronze with the antique background that he puts on it as well. So here's some ideas. I'm just going to be I'm not going to be replacing the ones on the belt loops, but I'm going to show you some ideas of how conchos can look with different types. And I'm not even going to screw them all on, but just to give you an idea. This one's really cool. You've got the cattle skull on it. It's hollow around the edges. I think it looks brilliant. This is a fun one. I'll put this off to the side here to kind of go through some of these. Each one has its own unique design. There we go. Screw this one on a little bit. So a little bit different in size. This one's a little bit larger. Depends on a project this size. I think both can work. A little bit larger, a little bit smaller. Originally, this is the one that you see in the tutorial for this particular project. And this one looks great. The background is brown, so it kind of blends in with the color that I dyed the bag. But personally, I just really love the way the silver bronze sets that off. Here's another one, very kind of more Sheridan style with the flowers and leaves in it. It looks great too. Here's one with the roped edge. A little bit smaller, also a different look and feel to it. This one's really beautiful, but it is a little bit large, especially for a project of this size. But if you want the concho or the jewelry that you're affixing to your leather product really stand out, something like this works great too. So as you can tell, I have quite a few of these. I picked these up at a show in Prescott, Arizona recently, and I just bought quite a few. This one's got some hearts on it. Also looks really nice. You can go shopping for conchos on eBay and Amazon or through other vendors that you know of. And there's a lot of variety if you get out and start hunting for them, different qualities. These are a little bit more expensive because they are a bespoke item, and this is a type of handmade jewelry. So these you can expect to go for about $20 a piece retail. But they definitely have that beautiful handmade look to them. And they have some different shape to them. This one's rounded in the middle and flat around the edges. Has a lot of detail in the artwork. This one has a lot of detail in it too. You have a couple flowers here on the edges and the leaf work. This one's a little bit darker. A lot of antiquing on it. Some of these are a little smaller. I have quite a few different sizes and styles, but of this particular maker I have quite a few. I forget who makes this one. I got these on sale at a show, but they normally run for about the same price, $15 to $20 a piece. Here's one with a real large flower in it. I got a couple of these. This one I don't think necessarily fits, but you can see it's also a concho. Probably more suited for a tie or something like that, but some people might like that crest look to it. And you can, again, for this type of concho down here, a smaller size is probably more suited. There's lots of this type of variety of concho available you can pick up as well. Some are even smaller than this. But these are mostly all from a similar maker. I have some other conchos from Tandy Leather and other makers as well. I just wanted to show you guys something that I thought was maybe a little bit different from what we see in the mainstream. And I like these, have a very cowboy western feel to it. And I've always really liked the blending of the traditional with the modern or unique handmade accessory. So this, I love the way this kind of handle opens and closes. It opens real easy, closes real nice, but it has a more unique character and look to it. And then if you take this away from the bag, it's just not the same. But the second you put on that concho, it just makes it, I think, look 10 times more valuable and 10 times better. So that's a suggestion for this particular project. I hope that gives you some ideas. Shop around for conchos. Maybe these are a little bit too expensive for you. Maybe that's within your budget, but I think for the amount of work that goes into a handmade product, if you make it really nice and it looks like something, okay, I could go sell this in a department store, then it's worth it to go ahead and shop around and buy some conchos, or even find a local artist who maybe you can collaborate with and say, would you make me something like this? And maybe they know how to make a cast, and they can do that and collaborate with you. And then you can combine their talent and yours together to add even more value to your goods. Especially if that artist maybe already has a name or already has a market in your community, then I think that's another great way to get your name out there, is just to work with someone who's well known. And I try to do the same. I like Jeremiah Watt. I love the work that he does. I love that cowboy western floral design on things, and I love these old skulls and the way they look, and they give it that real western feel and look to it. So those are just some suggestions and ideas, but I hope this gives you guys a little bit of inspiration about what you can do, especially for those of you who are already engaged in making this particular bag. Again, we do have templates for this available on my website. You can check out and buy. So if you don't want to cut out all the pattern pieces and you just want to trace it quickly onto leather, you can buy an acrylic template for it. Or you can just buy the pattern, get it cheaper, and you can tape it onto the leather and just cut it out. So if you don't plan on making very many of them, you can do that way. A lot of you ask me questions too. If I buy this pattern, can I sell it in my ETSY shop or anything like that? Yes, you can. You can make my designs and sell them in your ETSY store without any special license or agreement. The condition is if you mass produce any of my leather goods, and if you want to sell it like in a chain store or something like that, then yes, you do need a license. But one of the reasons I started sharing my designs with people is because I really just wanted to give people creative options, what they could do, and make something unique and beautiful with a more luxury feel and look to it. But there wasn't a lot available, at least that I noticed when I started working on YouTube. And I thought, I love designing stuff, so I thought I'll just share my stuff with everybody, and if it can help them or make their business get a little bit of a kickstart, that's great. And I realized that there's a unique market for handmade leather goods, and I think products like this do sell well, but making them affordable, well, it just depends on how low you're willing to go. So for a product like this, if you go to my website and I'm the one making it, depending on the hardware that I use on that product, I'm gonna sell it for over $200 for the time and the effort that it takes me to hand cut, stain, stitch, and do all this stuff. To get my time and effort out of it, I need to charge at least that. Some of you may feel it's worth even more to that. Maybe you have a market that's willing to pay even more. I think that's perfectly fine. So if you know your market, then it's a lot easier. But I would encourage you to, as you make these things, if you want to try sell it at an open market, or if you're at a trade show or something, you want to test this out and see how audiences respond to your work, go ahead and feel free to make some of the stuff that I sell. That's why I distribute it and share it with you guys, in hopes that it'll help you have another little side income, not just a hobby. And I started out that way, making some designs that other people made, and I was so encouraged when people liked my work and they would buy it. And I thought, I don't always have to, maybe at some point, buy those things, because I already have a design skill. So I thought I will just start making my own, and I design all my stuff on my own. I don't go out and buy another bag and tear it apart and go, okay, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but this is how I do it. And I just kind of get ideas of what I see other people doing, and I throw it together, and if I'm happy with the way it looks and it comes out, then great, I'll share it with you guys. If I'm not, then I probably will never share it. I have lots of designs that have never hit the YouTube screen. And lately I've been making a lot of designs and stuff that I've already done, so I haven't been doing a lot of designing lately. So that's probably why you haven't seen any new videos as of recent. So here's another example of a popular project that I designed, and this is just a new color, a new look and feel to the original one, which I have somewhere over here. Pull it out. And here is the hand-stained brown, and this is the unstained version of it. So all I applied to this is mink oil. There's no stain or no Resolene or seal on it. It's just that. And what I think is going to be beautiful, especially about this piece, is it ages. You'll have the natural patina of the leather come out, and I think that'll just really add to the antique beauty of this particular piece. And again, it's layered leather, and I burnished the edges, and these are nice and smooth, so I made sure that you just sand it down until it's perfectly even and flat, and it burnishes out really nice. And one of the secrets to getting the stitching perfect on both edges is when I use the drill press, just making sure it's on a flat surface that won't be disrupted at all as I drill. And I use cardboard. So if you lay it on a piece of cardboard and keep the project flat, the stitching holes should line up identically on both sides. So if you look at this, it looks like I used the stitching chisel on both sides, but that was completely done with a Dremel drill press. And the threads are just, they're natural white linen thread. I like the way the linen looked. It really shows off on the vegetable tanned leather there. And I've inserted a magnet, drilled the area out here for the magnet to rest in, glued that in, and it holds about anywhere from 15 to 20 cards. It can hold a little bit more than I have in here right now. Those fit in real nice, closes real nice, and it won't fly open on you because these are pretty strong magnets. And this horseshoe D-ring holds this hinge together right here. So this just opens up real nice. And I've taken these to the last few trade shows that I went to, and I didn't have any of my leather stuff on me except this, and people love it. So again, this is a labor-intensive product. It's really, really hard to make this affordable for the general market. I sell these for over $200 a piece, and some of you are probably going, what? But yeah, it may not look, there's not a lot of material on it, and I think that's why sometimes people kind of say it's hard to justify spending $200 for a piece like this. But if you think about the fact that it's stitched through all these layers, and I'm sure the Cobra sewing machine, I've watched it, can stitch through this no problem. But I question, can it keep the stitch line on the other end this accurate and straight? That's going to be really hard to do. And that's the benefit of doing it by hand and using a drill press, is you can guarantee the depth of the stitch will be identical on both sides, and it'll stay nice and straight and even. So yeah, you could probably do it with a really powerful sewing machine, but will it have this, can it replicate this quality? Maybe in the hands of a master, I don't know. I've never tried, and I would be interested to know if it can. So if you have one of those machines and you happen to make this project, and if you can get this kind of stitching result with it, I'd love to see it. And I'd be happy if that could be done, but I have yet to try it. And I don't own a Cobra, maybe one of these days. But anyways, again, there's nothing on here except some heated wax, burnish the edges with. And that's on. And this one I think is just beautiful too. This one's already stained, and we put a glossy sheen on it. So this one will always just kind of look this way. This one I put a fresh finish on it recently because I've been using it for a while now, and it's kind of a little scratched and beat up on the outside, but now it looks like new again. So these are a very popular, beautiful piece that I get a lot of compliments on. People are just kind of fascinated that this is actually leather and not wood. Most people assume it's wood, but it's not. And I think that's what's cool about leather. It's really unique material, and you can do things with it people never imagined. So again, for today, we hope this gives you some ideas with what you can do with the leather and the different types of hardware, and especially these conchos. So thank you for watching, and until next time,